cartoons and caricatures are a recent art form that exaggerate human features and mock their subjects. They become part of print as a tool for social and political commentary, often targeting those in power. Using symbolism instead of long editorials, cartoons effectively express opinions and capture public imagination, making them valuable for historians to study. Now moving on to the author.
Arthur McCoy, born on June 8, 1945, in Massachusetts, USA, is a professor at Southeast Asian History at the University of Winston at Madison, and he is the director of the Center for Southeast Asian Studies. He has dedicated over 30 years to writing about the history and politics of Southeast Asia. His notable publications include Anarchy of Families, Closer Than Brothers, Matches at the Philippine Military, Lives at the Margin, and the Philippine Cartoons.
Moving on to the background. In the Philippine cartoons, McCoy examined the role of political cartoons in the Philippines, particularly during the authoritarian regime of Ferdinand Marcos. He recognized cartoons as a powerful form of resistance, offering Filipinos a unique platform to critique political power, expose corruption, and voice dissent under censorship. By exploring this medium, McCoy highlighted how satire and humor serve as crucial tools in shaping public opinion and fostering political change in a turbulent historical context.
The first caricature, Ang Mapapalad from 1907, shows how Filipino taxpayers' money was misused. Instead of funding important projects, officials used it for themselves, leaving people to suffer. It reflects corruption and the lack of Filipino voice in their own government. In short, it criticizes the unfair system where the people pay but do not benefit.
Caricature 2 shows the inequality faced by Filipino workers. Despite being highly qualified, they receive lower salaries compared to American teachers, who earn more even with lesser credentials. It also illustrates discrimination, as Americans were assigned to elite schools while Filipinos were sent to overcrowded schools in remote areas. Caricature 3 shows how early Filipino politicians failed to practice true democracy. It highlights dynastic politics, patronage, and U.S. influence, where Uncle Sam favored certain parties. This weekend, real party competition as politicians kept switching sides for power, an issue that still exists today.
Caricature 4, Flaming Youth. The cartoon shows a cinema screen with a blown-up image of a police officer announcing that couples are not allowed to show affection in the theater. Two couples look horrified while an older couple seem amused. This caricature reflects the clash between conservatism and the liberative youth culture in the 1930s, a time often referred to as the sexual revolution. Young Filipinos were beginning to adopt more liberal attitudes towards relationships, which disturbed the traditional conservative values of society. The presence of the police officer symbolized authority and censorship, while offering reactions of the old and young highlight the generational divide in the attitudes toward morality and modernity. Caricature number 5, Why the Apacero Rebels. A caricature shows a carabao symbolizing farmers burdened under enormous load labeled with words like usury, kalindua, pasunod, and taxpayers. The load is so heavy that the animal says, "I can't bear it any longer." This cartoon critiques the exploitive land tenancy system during the American colonial period. Tenants farmers, or apaceros, were oppressed by landlords who charged unfair interest, imposed heavy rents, and took an unjust share of harvest. The cartoon portrays this systematic abuse, pushed farmers into desperation and rebellion, symbolizing the roots of present unrest in Philippine society.
The relevance of the document to our history is that it promotes nationalism and patriotism, and it serves as an eye-opener and discovers our roots.
So what are their contributions? Number 1, future generations will be able to have a glimpse of the past Philippine society. Number 2, it serves as a study and reference tool for further generations and clarified historical information. Number 3, through the use of political cartoons, people get to visualize politics and the appreciate representation on which are within their worldview. Lastly, number 4, It represents the feelings of the people, way to discuss political and social issues using art.
Alright! Ayan! To whom it may concern, I hope this video finds you well.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button.